What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. What's good with y'all? Go check out my other videos. Check them out. Check them out. Excuse me. All right. So in this video, we're going to get right into it. No beating around the bush. You read the title. You saw the thumbnail. Why you should have as many spare mags as possible. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about a very underrated, I guess you could argue, accessory, but in all reality, you really need a magazine for most of your firearms to function for more than one round. But let's get right into it. So, for starters, one of the biggest things that people don't realize, and a big reason why they don't realize it, is because they're not shooting enough. And I'll be honest, am I going to sit here and act like I'm putting, 40, 50,000 rounds a year downrange? No. But I'm saying I'm getting better, Most people don't shoot enough to realize that magazines are a finite resource, meaning they do break down after a while. They do wear down. The parts aren't working after a long time and a good amount of shooting through it. Now, does this necessarily mean, oh yeah, that mag is complete garbage, throw it away? No, not necessarily. I'm going to get into that as well in a second. But since we know that magazines do eventually wear down over time through a good amount of shooting, depending on how much torturing you're really putting that mag through as well can really affect it, how clean you keep it, whatever. While all of that is a factor, it all just boils down to the fact that magazines are a finite resource. This doesn't mean that they're going to run out, essentially, but I mean you're going to get so much use out of one mag that you can. It is going to break down. You are going to have to get new mags after a while. So it's important to already have spares right there on hand. If you have spare mags, then it's not that big of a deal. Some of y'all might be wondering, okay, well, what do I then do with the mag that, it's been worn down, it's not functioning properly? Some people would argue throw it away. I would argue, depending on where you're at with your malfunction clearing, I would say use that as a training magazine, because if you know that it's going to, induce malfunctions, why not? Get better at clearing malfunctions. There's nothing wrong with knowing how to clear a malfunction in a much more efficient manner. There's no downside to that. So, just for the aspect that, yes, magazines do after a while break down, you do want spare mags. Beyond just spare mags, even when you're carrying, most people like to carry a spare mag on them. If you're not like me and you're like, hey, I only want to carry one gun with me, perfectly fine. Most people only do that. You know what I mean? I carry a backup just because, but that's just me. My whole point I'm getting at, though, is that a majority of people, whether they carry one gun or two or however many, they usually carry a spare mag on them because they don't want their primary gun that they're going for their carry to run out of ammo. If it runs out of ammo, you have that spare mag, it's still in the fight. There's a reason why you chose that as your primary carry gun. You see what I mean? Having extra mags, whether it's for EDC, whether it's for, training purposes, can only be, it can only be helpful. It can only be a blessing. You know what I mean? Now, moving on just from the aspect of concealed carry, I don't know about you guys, I like to have an extra mag next to my home defense guns. Whether it's my AR, whether it's my Glock, whatever, I like to have an extra mag next to them due to the fact that, one, if a malfunction does happen that I can't clear with that mag, I'd rather just drop the mag at that point and get a new one in there. However, if I do run out of ammo for some reason and I have to retreat back, I have an extra mag in case I can't get to my long gun in time. In the end, it seems that a lot of problems and a lot of situations that really could either be detrimental to you, whether it's for life or death situations, whether it's for, training purposes, can be a huge pain, can all be avoided by having spare mags. A spare magazine is essentially a second chance. It's almost like a revive button. Because truth of the matter is that what most people don't realize, when you let out that first mag, if you're out of ammo, you are out. I understand that most people are going to argue, oh, well, in most self-defense situations, you won't need that many rounds. Yeah, well, in most situations in the day-to-day world, you won't need your gun. So you want to be prepared. You know what I mean? If something's happening where you need your gun, it's already not your lucky day. Why do you want to gamble with the fact that you want to have a low capacity or not have an extra mag on you? Doesn't make sense to me. You see what I mean? So just spare mags overall, there's no downside to having spare mags. And I mean, realistically speaking, if you're like me and you want to start stockpiling ammo, you're going to sit there and realize you need to stockpile mags. I mean, some people might argue, oh, well, you know, and I am one of these people as well, that you should just load your ammo into your mags and put your mags in your ammo can. So that way you got loaded mags ready to go. I agree with that. Sure, 100%. My whole point, though, is that in order to do that, you need spare mags. You need extra magazines so that way you can stock up your ammo. I mean, some people, they might argue, oh, I just throw my ammo in the can. And hey, that's fine if that's all you. But I would prefer to have loaded mags ready to go instead of ammo in a can that I'd have to then load up into a mag, then get into my gun. Because if I need extra ammo, I probably need it right then. So, moving on from that aspect, I know I'm jumping all over the place here, but that's because there are so many situations and so many, it's just such a wide variety of situations that a spare mag is always useful. I'm sorry, but there's no reason to not have a spare magazine on you, whether it's for your everyday carry, whether it's for your home defense gun, whatever it may be, your duty gun, in case some of y'all are cops or out in the military. You know, there's no reason to not have a spare magazine on you. Some of y'all might argue, oh, well, what about the weight? If you're that concerned about the weight, I'll be honest, you probably need to be a little stronger. A spare mag is not that heavy. I carry two. A spare mag is not that heavy. To make an argument against carrying a spare magazine would solely be doing it for a comfort purpose. It wouldn't be for a purpose behind protecting yourself more efficiently. It wouldn't be off any basis other than, oh, well, it might be a little less comfortable to have an extra magazine on you. And truth be told, if you're already comfortable enough carrying your gun, especially in appendix position, there should be no reason why you should be uncomfortable carrying an extra mag with you as well, considering there are holsters that have extra mag carriers attached to them. I don't know. I think I'm going off on a rant here again. I can feel it, especially with the last couple of videos I did. I feel the rant in me coming out. You know what I mean? But in the end, are spare mags important? Extremely. I just named off several different situations where a spare mag would be amazing. Like, there's no arguing that you should have spare mags at all. There's no sitting here saying, oh, yeah, well, I don't see why you should go out of your way to get more mags for a gun you have. Well, perhaps that's because of the fact that magazines can break over time. Perhaps it's because of the fact that if it does break over time, I need one that's going to be 100% reliable. Maybe it's because of the fact that I don't want to run out of ammo in a situation where I have to use my gun. Maybe it's because of the fact that I don't want to sit there and, whether it be home defense, concealed carry, whatever it is, maybe I don't want to take that risk because I'm already taking a gamble just being a living being. It is a gamble living in this world, and that's the truth. That's why most people carry. They realize that bad things happen to good people, and the chances are of them having to use their firearm while being slim is still very much so present. So with that being the case, why would you not want to have a spare magazine or some sort of extra ammo on you? Because I know there are revolver guys out there. Why would you not want to have an extra magazine or some sort of extra ammo on you? So that way you don't run out and you're not out of the fight sooner than possibly needed. You see what I mean here? But I think that about wraps it up for this video. I think I can tell I'm going in circles here. However, I did name off several different situations where spare mags are extremely important. You can keep them for training purposes. You definitely are going to need spare mags for self-defense purposes, whether your original mag is worn out, whether this is just a spare that you want to have on you. I mean, if you're once again, if we're talking a duty gun, if you're not having an extra mag on you, you're really just screwing yourself over. I can't think of any reason why police officers or people in the military shouldn't have spare mags on them. But that's just me, you know. And once again, stockpiling, you know, for shit hits the fan. Yeah, you do want to have extra magazines. So with that being said, I think that about wraps it up for this video. Yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all. And whether or not you agree with me on this one, I'm confused as to whether some people would disagree with me on this. I feel like the people who would disagree with me are probably just too cheap to go out and buy extra mags themselves. But as I was saying before, whether or not you agree with me, make sure to check out all my other videos. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.